Welcome to the Only Single Player Podcast, episode number 6. I get the distinct pleasure of being your host this evening. My name is Adam McDermott. I'm joined by the senior editorial, Mr. Nathan Hughes.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And one of the news writers on staff, Mr. Tripp Papineau.
Hey, what's up?
Exquisite. Alright, brilliant. This is the podcast where we chat about what we've been playing, what we've been up to in the last 7 days, as well as covering all the bigger news stories that's been happening and give our quick thoughts on them. So we'll start off with Mr. Tripp. What have you been playing the last 7 days?
Oh, well, I've been playing nothing because there's nothing out. I mean, I guess I've been playing Battlefield 4, the new Dragon's Teeth DLC, which I really liked so far. But other than that, nothing really. Nothing's out.
And how is the DLC? Is it worth the purchase?
Well, I have premiums, so I get all the maps when they come out. So yeah,
what does it bring? Like it. What's new about it?
A lot more urban. The maps are more city.
I haven't played Battlefield since Battlefield 3, and the only map I really remember from that was the Metro map. I just remember that.
Yeah, Metro's is in Battlefield 4.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I just remember it being an absolute clusterfuck of a map. Just
well,
just everyone run together.
Interesting. It gets insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you fall on between Battlefield and Call of Duty, Tripp?
I hate Call of Duty. I'm just gonna let everyone know that right now on the podcast. Okay, let me re-clarify that. I don't hate Call of Duty. I just don't like what it's become.
Okay.
See, the first 4 Call of Duties were great. I mean, I played Call of Duty 1 on PC, 2 on 360, and 3 and 4. And then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I was like, it's okay. And then 3 came out, and it was just such, I don't know, overrated. And then Black Ops, the campaign was really good. And then Black Ops 2, it was like, what the hell are they doing? And then...
I only recently got Black Ops 2. I got it really cheap, actually. And
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say?
I said I was sorry.
All right. I thought you were going to say something. Yeah, I'm not sorry. It only cost me like €5, so $5. So it was pretty cheap.
Awful.
It's still too much.
He's so adamant that it's bad. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's very, you can play it for like 20 minutes or like 3 hours. That's what I get away for it. It's very arcadey. It still is, and it always will be, I think. And I mean,
I like what they're doing with Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, it's cool.
The campaign looks more interesting than it has been in a while, but they still haven't shown any multiplayer as far as I remember.
Yeah, I think they might try to keep it under wraps as much as possible, and then just show everyone exactly how it works.
Well, the idea of revealing it with Kevin Spacey involved, that should be the big first marketing push, should be Kevin Spacey's involved.
Oh, let's be all serious. That's exactly what they were thinking. They're like, hey, Kevin Spacey, if you're in this game, everyone's going to buy it. And he was like, do I get money?
Yeah. I'll only buy it if he does the accent from House of Cards. That's what I'm going to say. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
That'd be perfect.
But he might have a dog next to him.
Oh yeah, and oh god, yeah. Press R3 to snap neck.
And then you'll see he'll have an aquarium in the background with the amazing fish AI.
Yeah.
What did you make of the Call of Duty demo at E3, Tripp?
It was a lot more impressive than I thought it would be, I'll admit. I mean, I'm definitely intrigued by this Call of Duty. A lot more than I was Ghost, Black Ops 2... Modern Warfare 3. This one looks... I mean, they're finally, I guess, doing something different. Sledgehammer Games is making it, so, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I think it did need a bit of an injection of life, and Sledgehammer Games look like they're trying to do that as much as possible.
Yeah, they're trying to make it the Titanfall killer.
Yeah. I'm optimistic, as in, you're right, intriguing is the best way of putting it, because you get so jaded after those games, especially after Modern Warfare maybe 2. It just became kind of like, alright, I guess we're just riding this freight train, and then try to do something with Black Ops, but it didn't really work.
Well, I have a lot of problems with Activision in general, so...
Like what?
Well, I mean, maybe not all of their games, but I feel like Activision has really destroyed a lot of franchises, and they neuter a lot of their studios. And by neuter, what I mean to say is like, you have a studio like Raven Software. They made the Singularity game. They made X-Men Origins, the game, which was surprisingly good. They made a ton of games before, they were making Call of Duty DLC maps. And what a lot of studios and Activision are doing now is making Call of Duty multiplayer. High Moon Studios, Raven Software, Neversoft. I mean, that's crazy. They don't have a lot of chance to do anything new. And it's, it sucks.
Did you hear the news that Activision are getting sued? The guy in Black Ops 2, he's one of the main antagonists. His name's like Noriega.
Oh,
he's like a former dictator.
dictator.
Yeah, he's in the game, and he's being sued. Like, he's suing Activision over it because for his likeness, and he used his name without his permission.
Wow.
But I was thinking, I see a lot of TV shows and stuff like that get away with, like South Park comes to mind. They do stuff like this all the time, and it's just weird that he kind of is like, oh well, if it's in a game, I can't allow that. So
well, his defense is that he wasn't killing enough people in the Call of Duty game.
I am a way better horrible human being that I have way more deaths on my list than that. That is an untrue representation
this
of my
is slander.
Yeah,
I killed way more people.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. The I didn't play Battlefield since I think Bad Company, and I quite enjoyed those.
Bad Company 2 is amazing.
Yeah, it really is amazing. It's very good. Just the destruction was so excellent. That's all. It was just so much fun to mess around with. Like you had like a guy camping on a building, you would just blow up the building, and then there's nowhere else to camp. It was so satisfying to kind of, like, if you were fed up with Call of Duty and like camping and stuff. It was kind of like the antidote to that, where you could just blow up everything in sight. It was great fun.
Yeah,
man, I gotta say that Battlefield Hardline looks really awesome, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna get it day one because there's just so many games in October. I'm probably gonna get Evolve and Evil Within.
Mm-hmm. Even the Evil Within looks pretty terrifying, I have to admit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's like a regenerating boss apparently in it that just pops up randomly, and you just have to just deal with it. Like, and I haven't. The last time I played a game with a regenerating boss, or a boss that wouldn't die, was Dead Space 1, I think, and 2 actually, and that was fucking terrifying.
Wait,
one of the
which is
games
the boss that doesn't die and keeps regenerating in Dead Space?
Oh, it was just like, it was a necromorph who was really tall, and he just chased you around the room, and you had to end up freezing him
I don't remember.
In Dead Space 1 anyways. And then he's in 2 at the end, very end.
Oh, yes.
Regenerating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking spooky. You shoot him in the legs, shoot off his arms, and you think he's dead, and then all of a sudden he just starts shaking and just springs back up. You're like, oh shit! And you just run away.
Do you think that Wow. Oh my gosh. Do you think Dead Space 4 should come back?
If it's more like Dead Space 1.
Yeah, that, exactly.
Dead Space 2 is a good game. And I actually liked Dead Space 3, but it wasn't a horror game.
Dead Space 3 wasn't, no.
I'd say that Dead Space 1 was probably had the best atmosphere. Dead Space 2 had the best gameplay. And unfortunately Dead Space 3 just went balls to the wall action.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not that fun. It's missing the spark and the genuine nature of Dead Space 1, which I like that game so much.
So do you think The Evil Within is going to bring back survival horror on consoles?
I haven't seen enough of it to see. As in, I'm hoping. As in, it looks like more kind of Resident Evil 4-ish, which would make sense. But at the same time, I need to see more gameplay. It could be they could just show snippets that make it seem like it's survival horror, but once you start playing the game, it'd probably be more like Resident Evil 5.
Hopefully I can play it at PAX and see what they're doing.
First-hand reporting, that'd be pretty cool. Oh yeah, anyone listening, Tripp is going to be our ambassador to PAX Prime, is it? Or
yeah, PAX Prime.
Yeah, PAX Prime, yeah.
Sweet, you must be excited.
I am excited.
I'm excited to hear what you bring back. I'm really excited to see what kind of tidbits of information
As
you
far
bring
as
back.
single player games go, I mean, this is a dream to what I'm listing here. But I want to be able to play Evolve. Well, Evolve's not a single player.
You can mention multiplayer games. We're not.
Yeah, I mean,
blind.
I want to play Evil Within, Alien Isolation, Dragon Age 3, Lord of the Rings, and The Order.
Yeah, that's a fine list. That's a
Yeah.
fine list of games indeed.
I'm really excited for Alien Isolation. Really excited. It looks so fun. Like,
Wasn't that meant to get Oculus Rift support for a little bit and then they
They
cancelled it?
said
Yeah, I
that
think so.
they haven't started development for Oculus Rift. It's more of just like a prototype.
Mm.
That is the perfect game to scare the shit out of you.
Oh god, yeah. I'm getting chills just thinking about how great it would be to play it with the Oculus Rift. Just how scary it would be, because
I'm surprised they haven't put Outlast on it.
yeah,
Ooh, that would be good.
that would be good actually.
Which I want to go on record and say Outlast is probably the scariest game I've played on a console since Condemned.
Wow, that game was really scary as well.
Yeah,
But it
let's
doesn't
talk
look
about
scary
Condemned
when you watch
3.
people play it. That's what I think. When watching people play Outlast, I'm like, yeah, it looks spooky, I guess, to play. But when you're watching someone else do it, it's just like, it doesn't look scary. But I'm sure that's completely different. That's just what I get from it anyways.
But you haven't played it in the dark with your headset on.
Oh, that's true.
It's a pretty great game.
Yes, indeed. Alright. Mr. Nathan, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I went a bit old school this week, actually. I went up into the attic and started searching around, blew off the dust on a square box in the corner, opened it up, it started to glow, and I took out my old PlayStation 2. And
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I had the controllers, memory
I
card.
thought you were going to say Nintendo.
No, I'm not that old school. I'm a Sony guy, Sony family. We didn't really have many Nintendos apart from Game Boys, so yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a Nintendo maniac. But yeah, I took out the PlayStation 2, had the working memory card, everything worked. You know, put it on to the TV, and I decided, hey, do you know what I'm gonna play? Spider-Man 2. Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was great. It was a bit rough around the edges, definitely, but it was still such a blast to play. And then, what else did I play? Actually, I can take a look here.
Spider-Man 2, that swing mechanic was so perfect.
So
Everyone
good.
gives the new Spider-Man games so much shit, and they're not that bad.
I guess
I'm
yeah,
defending them.
people are looking at the old games with like rose-colored glasses. They're actually not as great as you remember, but the swinging is the best part. That's what I take away from it. Swinging is the best fun you can have in those games.
Yeah.
I also played Need for Speed Underground 2.
God damn, I put about 100 hours into the first Need for Speed Underground. Those two games are great.
I know, I had a blast playing it. It was so much fun. So yeah, it's good. It's good to kind of go back sometimes and fish out the old games.
Yeah, Need for Speed needs to go back to that crazy arcade style.
Oh
It's so much fun.
definitely. Go ahead.
I haven't played any of the new Need for Speed games. I just look at them and go, ugh, that
played-
looks so serious.
Have you seen
I've
the
played-
Need for Speed movie?
No, is it any good?
Well, it wasn't like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes,
All right.
but it was okay.
I'm actually really excited to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because I saw the first one and I thought, wow, this is actually amazing. Like, it was so good. It was really, really, it was really sad at times, but it was really good action as well. So it got a good balance, I think.
The singular best scene, hands down, that film. What makes that film worth the ticket of entry? What just if you like, oh, I might not like it. You have to see it for the one scene where the monkey stands up and goes, no.
Oh, dude. Oh, that was so good. I have a
sat
funny
up.
story.
I sat up and was like, holy shit.
I know we're dipping away from games here, but sure, it's a minor segue into something else. I'm sure we'll bring it back. But anyways, I have a funny story to tell you about that. So I actually went to see Rise of the Planet of the Apes in the cinema. And it was packed, absolutely packed. Everyone wanted to see this because the reviews were so good. And everyone was really enjoying it. You know, people were cheering along for the good bits, and then going like you can hear people just kind of sniffling at points, you know, because it is really kind of touching it at times. And at that scene, right, everyone was just silent, exactly the way it is in the film. Once Caesar says no, just silence, right? And I was like, oh my god, I've never seen a film like impact so many people like this. And then the guy behind me stood up and yelled, "That fucker's gonna get it!"
That's great.
And I was like, wow, fair play, you just ruined it, man. But then the monkey just started beating the shit out of Draco Malfoy, and I was so happy. But I did not expect anything to come out of the audience mouths, but just this guy just yelling, "He's gonna get it!" So that's my
funny.
lovable story.
Yeah.
Our Irish audience in the cinema, brilliant.
Yeah. Going back to the PS2, I now regret selling my PS2 because I still have, here's the crazy thing, I sold my PS2 and I still have God of War, Dragon Quest 8, Resident Evil 4 on disc up in the attic and a couple other things. I'm thinking
you can get on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
No, not Dragon Quest.
No.
Oh, well,
Which is the one game. Because that's the one I like, because I was watching Game Trailers did a live stream of Dragon Quest 8 and I was like, oh dang, and I ended up watching the entire thing. And I was just thinking, this game is so good, I wish I could play it, and I didn't have a PS2, so I found myself on Amazon looking up a PS2 to buy, because you know, kind of, you can get PS2 games for nothing and there's such great games for it.
I have a Dreamcast.
You have a Dreamcast? That's pretty cool.
That's very, very old school right there.
But I've now more or less said that I'm no longer selling any more consoles ever.
No.
I'm keeping them all.
Oh, I'm the same. It's the same with games for me. Well, maybe sometimes I give a game back because I just didn't enjoy it. But for the most part, if I'm finished with a game, I kind of keep it. Just be like, just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case.
Me a horrible person that I traded in Metro 2033 and Last Light because I was like, you know what? Redux is coming out. I'm just going to get on that.
Yeah,
well, that's fine.
Yeah,
that
makes sense. That's being smart. You're just being a very smart consumer.
As in, I've now more or less said that if a game I even remotely like, I'm just not selling it. I'm holding on to it because I end up finding, as in, I'll give you a prime example, Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, we had and we sold, and then my brother's like, oh, I really missed that game, so we bought it again. I still have the save file. And I was thinking, that is a great game. And I kind of missed the fact that I trade in Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. Yeah. And I was like, I wish I had those games. So I'm not selling any more games that I even remotely like anymore. I even missed the fact that I don't have the first Resistance.
I think a lot of gamers have that kind of swan, like the kind of the sad lament where they had a game, like the one that got away. They sold a game they really loved just because they're like, I need the money for something cooler. But then the game you got new was actually worse than the game you sold. And my one is actually very sad, but it's a really, really cool game. And I wanted to get Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Oh, that's a good game.
It is a great game, definitely.
It is a great game.
But I had to sell 2 games. And I can't remember the second game because it mustn't have been that good. So I made the right decision there. I think it might have been Colin McRae or something like that. But the other game was, what was it? Harry Potter Quidditch. Holy shit.
Such a fun game. It's ridiculous and fun.
And the worst part is I can't find it anywhere. I mean, I'm sure it's on Amazon, but I'm trying to, because it's really expensive to ship. It depends where you're getting, but I'm trying to scour through like old secondhand games shops to find it, and no luck.
Only the worst. Trading in some games for Aliens Colonial Marines Day 1. That was great.
Nathan, that's crazy. Nathan, you'll be happy to know Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup on the PS2 is available right now on Amazon.co.uk for a mere £9.
Ooh,
£9.
The temptation.
I don't know what that is, but it's pretty good.
It's like $11, I think.
Okay.
It's not too bad. Oh, I'll think about it.
Tripp, you were saying you still have your Dreamcast.
Yeah, we have one.
Do you still play it often, or is it just kind of gathering dust?
I really want to go back now, though, because like I watched replay on Game Informer, and they did Blue Stinger, and it's like the most amazing game ever.
Hold on,
I
oh,
can't remember it myself.
oh
Well,
God.
there's a character in the game named Dogs Bauer, and he has a bow gun, which is a crossbow. So
I'm looking at it here. It's like, yeah, it looks really cool actually.
it's hilarious. Let's just say that.
It looks like you're fighting a Metal Gear or something like that. What is that? Oh, it's a giant bug or something. I don't know what it is. I'm just looking at the screenshots of it now.
I also want to play Illbleed.
Yeah, what's Illbleed? No idea what
man,
that is.
that's so hard to describe.
Oh, I'm looking at it now, and I just seen the screenshot, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's actually one Dreamcast game that a lot of people talk about is Illbleed.
Oh, dude, the cover is so fucking spooky. It's like a
This
doll.
game looks great.
It's like a China doll face. Oh god. Do you know what's a really good game? Actually, I've heard so much about, it, but I've yet to play it. Clockwork. Like, I can't remember what the title is exactly, but I'm not even sure if it is called Clockwork. But the game is like you're kind of running through these levels. It's like a 2D side scroller. You're running through these levels, and this guy chases you with a giant pair of scissors. So you're just playing the game, and all you hear is shh, 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 and you have to fucking hide or like in a closet or whatever, and wait for him to leave. It's so scary.
I've never played any of them,
but that's the modern game nowadays, where you just kind of hide. You can't really fight the enemy. I think it is. Yeah.
That'd be class. The whole kind of I was like yourself, Nathan. That I think more or less most people in Ireland our age grew up on the PS1, then transitioned to PS2, and then if you went 360 or PS3 from there.
Yeah.
But I missed out on the N64, the Dreamcast, the GameCube.
Yeah.
And I was looking back at them and I was thinking, dang, I'd really like to play
So
Pokemon
many
Stadium
good
on the
games
GameCube.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I mean,
64.
it wasn't like no one had like a Nintendo, but it was kind of like everyone was kind of like a PlayStation family, where you're just like, you either had like you Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, you'd Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider, everyone kind of had a PlayStation. It wasn't no one really had like Mario Kart or anything like that. I think there was I don't know why that was though. It's such a strange thing, I actually
It's weird because in America, I mean, people have PlayStations, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like, I think when 64 was out, it was the big thing right there.
Mhm.
Everyone had a 64. I mean,
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, Jet Force Gemini, Perfect Dark,
Yeah.
GoldenEye, Mario Kart, all that crap.
Yeah, I'm really interested in figuring out why that is, though. Why is there? I think it's because Europe is such a big market for Sony, and still is to this day. Maybe more
Marketing.
so than the US. Yeah, I don't know. I really want to figure this out. I'm sure I'm going to uncover something absolutely huge.
A
conspiracy. Yeah.
It feels like Nintendo was the juggernaut in America until the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Then the
I agree with
PlayStation
that.
2 took off. And then Xbox came out, and it seems like it became the big thing. Almost because it was made in America.
Yeah.
America.
Heck
Also, the 360 was out before the PS3 for about 8 or 9 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
Oh man.
And it was cheaper.
Yeah. Jesus, the PS3 was like $600.
$600.
$600
Ridiculous.
as well.
They learned the
Fucking
lesson.
crazy. Funny story. I think it's about the PlayStation 2. It got really popular in like rave clubs in Britain. Like people will seriously, people will go to raves, take drugs, dance to music, dance
Dance
to
Revolution.
Yeah, and they'd play like Wipeout. I'm not joking you. This is a
That's
legit
weird.
thing. People will get completely off their tits and then dance all night, and then as a cool down, they'd play Wipeout.
I bet they were shite.
Oh well, they said they loved the music, like sort of the techno music, and then the flashing lights. I'm
that's
not
so funny.
I'm not shitting you on this. It is a like well documented thing that like PlayStation. I think it's PlayStation 2s anyways, or even PlayStation 1s. They were really popular in nightclubs in the UK. So yeah,
That's so funny.
don't say listening to podcasts doesn't teach you anything, because it totally does.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, there are so many great games. Like the N64, that's a cool console. The GameCube, I'm fascinated by. That's. I think I might someday pick one of those up because
There's
that's
good
a
games
fascinating
on that
console.
too.
Yeah,
I mean, Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Melee.
as in, I think it'd be like there's so many great. You can get a GameCube nowadays for £38 on Amazon. Although I don't think it looks like it comes with any controllers or even a power cable.
The biggest enigma on that console was Star Fox. Dinosaur Island.
Yeah, they had some good games. Yeah, that whole kind of I've never played Smash Bros.
Wow.
I've only ever played Mario Kart on a Game Boy Advance. I've never played Metroid. Kind of like missing out.
Yeah, you are.
Big time. Yeah, we definitely are. Because I have a Wii, so I played a few games on that and enjoyed them. Like they're fun enough. But I'm still like, I was impressed with Nintendo after E3, so I'm kind of thinking maybe I might get a Wii U, but I don't know, because I'm still kind of gambling. Like, do I get a PS4? Do I get a Wii U? What do I really want? But at the moment, I'm still happy with a PS3, and I'm enjoying all the games I missed out on.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of my PS3 anytime soon.
No way.
There is the amount of games that come out over the last 7 years. There's still stuff to play through. There's like that. Do you remember that launch game Folklore?
Oh yeah, Jesus!
I want to play that.
Wasn't that set in Ireland?
I don't know. It's set in some magical place, maybe Ireland, but I want to play that. That's like a fun, kind of cool game. There's a bunch of really odd games that came out over the last 7 years that slipped through the cracks, or just we never got around to, or didn't even know they existed. But now it's kind of cool to pick them up on the cheap and go, wow, look at all these fun games.
Yeah, I have it up here on Wikipedia. It says the game is set in Ireland, and Jesus Christ. It's in the quaint village of Doolin.
I thought you were saying Jesus is in the game.
No, I was like, I'll definitely pick that one up. Use Christ powers.
Is it like
we need to
here?
talk about that.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a game starring Jesus?
I guess the South Park game, maybe. That was Jesus,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
like, I had this idea that they could make a good God of War game, and instead of Kratos, you're Jesus, and you just like have ripped abs, and you're fighting through all kinds of Bible monsters, and it can be co-op. Like Peter comes in, and like it would be awesome.
Just kicking ass as Jesus.
His weapon is like 2 large nails. Like,
Oh my
and he uses crown of thorns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
His power up is to swing a big cross around. Like he just fucking
Yeah.
hits the floor with it.
Yeah, his crown with thorns in it could work like Captain America's shield, where he could just like throw it and it would come back to him.
And there's just a level where like he has to walk on water to reach the next destination.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's perfect. We should get on that. That's a system seller right there.
Yeah.
Maybe not in America. But
Maybe not in America. Although I'd say, I don't know.
You'd be surprised.
If you're not crazy religious, I'd say you'd probably have fun with it.
oh, you know how much controversy there would be if that came out here?
I can imagine, people wouldn't be too happy about it. But then,
America isn't still that religious, is it?
Yes.
It depends on what part, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, but it's insane. People are flipping out. Wait, where are you guys from? That sounds stupid to ask.
Ireland.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Like in America, this is going to surprise you. When Mass Effect 1 came out, there was this huge thing on Fox News about apparently you could have sex with anybody in the game, everyone. Like it was, no holds barred. And then BioWare had to come on the Fox News and explain to them that wasn't true. And they like played through the game and showed one of the sex scenes, and then the guy was like, I guess I was wrong.
Wow.
Like they have any excuse for video game controversy in America, they'll snatch it up. I mean, they had Left 4 Dead 2 was racist because you're killing black zombies. I think Resident Evil 5 the same thing. It was racist because you were shooting black people.
Yeah,
But it's based in Africa.
I mean, it's insane in America. Like how much people get upset about little things.
But is it people, or is it just... I know Fox News are just... Does anyone really believe that? Does anyone watch
I'm
Fox
sure.
News?
There are some dumb people out there.
I don't know. The whole 24-hour news cycle is a bit silly. It shouldn't be that way. Because then they kind of have to come up with ideas and just stir up whatever to fill airtime.
But
whereas in Ireland, the news is once a day for half an hour.
At 6 o'clock.
For half an hour, followed by the weather and, I don't know, your sports roundup.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's all happened today, folks. Carry on with your lives.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like Sky News do it, but they do it okay. They kind of just repeat the same stories over and over and over.
Yeah,
and it's fine, but that would drive me mad if I had to do that job.
Oh god, that'd be the worst.
Did you guys hear what happened in America with Slender Man?
Yes, I have heard this.
Oh my
gosh,
dude, it was all over NBC News. I was like, wow, Slender Man's getting popular now.
It was like 2 or 3 kids. No, 2 kids.
It was like 2 girls.
Yeah, they stabbed their friend like 30 times or something like that because they were trying to appeal to Slender Man or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was insane.
Crazy.
Insane.
That's not because of the game. That's because those 2 girls are seriously mentally ill.
Yeah, I know.
As in, my first question would be, who were her parents like? What are they like? Are they just crazy drug riddles?
It's funny because then they would do stories. They were like, "Who is Slender Man? Let's look into his history."
Yeah. Just
like it was some real
pictures
person
of him
or something,
scratching
and they'd have like
ass.
videos. Like Slender Man originated and blah blah blah, and they would interview the guy who created him, and he was just like, "I just took a picture and put it on there."
Yeah, it's just stupid. It was a crazy story.
I think we'd all just ignore it and let ratings drop and just ignore it.
Yeah,
it'll all take care of itself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anything? Nathan, you've been going to classic. To be honest, you should keep that PS2 out and just go through classic games.
I should, yeah. I've a good few classic games. I'm looking at them now, but a lot of them are kind of shitty. Like for every golden nugget I have 2 lumps of poo in the other hand. Like here I have like the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
That's alright.
That's a good game. But then on the other hand, I have fucking Shrek 2 and Fantastic Four.
Both with big green people, one good, what not.
So, I also have From Russia with Love. That was a great game. Did you play that?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
That and the other James Bond game with Pierce Brosnan. That was fucking insane. That game was so crazy. You had like
they really can't make a good James Bond game anymore, can they?
No, that one was a classic
why.
though. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it's because EA run it now and they kind of don't know what to do with it. Wasn't like I think at one stage they had a game where it was looking at all the best Bond moments.
Yep.
And then it finished at the start of Skyfall. It came out when Skyfall just came out. And there's one scene in it where I think in Skyfall he gets shot off top of a train. It's in the start, so I'm not really spoiling it too much. But that starts the whole intro sequence, and in the game that starts the game, and then you just look back in his memories. And at the end, I think they added DLC or something like that to actually complete the game, and you only get it after the movie came out. So it was so nuts. But that Everything or Nothing game, like just to give you an idea of like the talent behind it, you had like the main cast for James Bond. So you had John Cleese as Q, Judi Dench as M, Pierce Brosnan as fucking James Bond, and then you also had Heidi Klum, Willem Dafoe. Like he was the main villain.
In a Bond
game? Yeah. No, he was in the Bond game.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's ridiculous. It's so crazy. Who else was in it? Shannon Elizabeth, she was in it as well. She's the girl from American Pie.
Oh, cool.
It was something else. It was so weird to have a game that had so much acting behind it, and then it kind of just went. No one really. I know a lot of people played it, but it just faded away. You know?
I think it's because once the new consoles came out, a lot of games got a lot more serious, and James Bond was just too... I don't know. I mean, it's not that James Bond can't be serious, but I guess for a game, it's just... What's the right word?
It's kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess it's the classic, but it's kind of like that whole Seinfeld thing, where... Like Seinfeld did everything first, but then all the other shows copied it, and it's been copied so much that people go, "Oh, that's just a hack. That's cheesy." So when they watch Seinfeld for the first time and they see like a scene where, a guy has to go on a date with 2 girls, and they're like, "Oh, this has been done a million times. It was like, yeah, but they did it first, you know, and that's you know, there's a whole name for this phenomenon in it. Like, it's on TV Tropes if you look it up. It's just called like the Seinfeld effect or something like that. But yeah, I think games just suffer from it a bit. But yeah, if you get the chance, I definitely recommend Everything or Nothing. It's very cheap and it's fun. It's great fun. You get to drive an Aston Martin around New Orleans.
That's always fun. Oh yes, indeed. Moving on there, I decided to go a little bit. I'd finished Last of Us last week. I platinumed it, and I wasn't looking to start any new game, so I went back and I played a little bit of XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Ooh, very nice.
A game which absolutely devoured my time when I initially got it. When I got it, I brought it home, and I think I put about 80 hours into it in the space of maybe a week, maybe shorter. Oh, sorry, yeah, definitely at least a week. But it was a thing of like it was wake up, play XCOM, go through the main campaign. Try, like, things would go right, things would go wrong. I'd get a game over. I'm like, what do you mean I got a game over? How did you get a game over? I've put 7 hours into this campaign. What do you mean game over? Start from the beginning. It's like, alright, fine, I guess I'll start from the beginning. And then I just do it again. I learn more and more. It was just wake up, play XCOM, eat food, play XCOM, stay up way too late, go to sleep, wake up, play XCOM. It was incredible. I've never had a game to hook me like that.
I'll be honest with you, I am not a big real-time strategy guy, or I guess XCOM is not real-time strategy, but it's like turn-based.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and which is weird because I like turn-based games like JRPGs, but I don't know. Couldn't get into XCOM.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
That's fair enough, yeah. It's
That's
not for everyone.
That's weird because I'm like you. I'm not into turn-based games, but I played XCOM and I was hooked. That was, I don't know, maybe it's not for everyone, I guess, but
Yeah, it wasn't just the turn-based. It was the base management.
Yeah,
it was
that was
the permadeath
so,
from the soldiers.
yeah.
It was the cool setting. It was the actual strategy put into every single move. And once you bump up the difficulty, you make a couple of wrong moves, you're done. It's over.
Dude, is that the
What's funny about that game is
that
that I remember when, like, XCOM, the Bureau, it was really just called XCOM by 2K Marin.
yeah.
Wow, Marin. And it was announced first, and it was this big thing, and then it got delayed, and all of a sudden, XCOM Enemy Unknown just came out of nowhere, and then it released, and everyone was like, this is the most amazing game ever. And then the Bureau came out, and everyone was like, what happened?
Yeah. And, exactly. I'm thinking I'm going to do, like, Iron Man Impossible is the hardest difficulty, and it saves after every one of your turns. So it's like it's if you finish a campaign on Iron Man Impossible, it's incredible. And I'm thinking, I've tried it once or twice before. I'm thinking, god damn, that would make a good video series. Just an attempt to finish that on Iron Man Impossible. You know, edit out the little dull bits, add in some narration. That could be fun.
Did you do the thing where you rename your soldiers after your friends?
Oh yeah. I had friends, family, celebrities, football players, fighters. I had them all in there.
I did some. I named all of my soldiers after my friends, and then like I just remember randomly texting my friend, going, "Oh no, you died! Oh, I can't believe it! Oh, now I'm down a sniper." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm playing XCOM. I named you after one of my soldiers." And then I sent him a video of me just slowly zooming in to the TV. And then as the music starts playing, the bagpipes, and just the camera just focuses on his name.
Wow.
And just hear me in the background.
That's so funny. Yeah, and then recently on the PC, a mod came out for XCOM Enemy Within called Long War.
Oh, okay.
Which essentially extends length campaign, adds like completely, it gives your upgrades the squad size, it adds all these more like ways of making the game more difficult. It adds, everything becomes a bigger and bigger challenge, and it's apparently all the developers from XCOM have said, yep, absolutely, we give our blessing. 100,000 people have downloaded the mod, and I've watched some gameplay of it, and it looks fascinating. I'm considering buying XCOM for the PC again.
Go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Have you played much of like Civilization games?
No, I tried. I got Civilization 3, but it didn't install correctly, and then it got corrupted or some crazy stuff like that. I would like to get into maybe because I saw Civ 4 looks great, but I don't know if I have the idea of being able to commit to it yet. I was going to have to think like once I'm 100% done with the whole XCOM universe, because I haven't even gotten Enemy Within yet. So until that's all over with, I might go on to Civilization.
Go for
Definitely.
it. It's great fun.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're going to move along to... there's been a few fun stuff that happened in the last week. The first of which, some very positive news for Microsoft and their Xbox One. In June, they doubled the sales that they had in May. Main reason for that is the fact that they took out Kinect, and now it goes out for $399.
Well, I'm not surprised at all.
No. I mean, they put on a good E3. That's one factor right there. And I guess more people are buying it now. And wait, when did you say they announced? When was the date?
I don't know what the date, but throughout the entire month of June, it was Kinect free.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was like a week before, not E3, but like a couple of weeks before. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, no Kinect." Then they didn't talk about it at all at E3.
Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of people are kind of, they're kind of thinking, oh, but I kind of like the Kinect. That's the, you know, some people are annoyed that I keep flip flopping, but you know, I don't have, I'm no interest in getting an Xbox One because I don't really know if I think the only thing I'd actually get it for is the Kinect, and I know that sounds completely ridiculous, but I actually like the idea of just walking into the room and saying Xbox on, Xbox turn on Netflix.
Convenient.
Yeah, that's not just for convenience sake. That's exactly the only reason I get it. But I think you can do that with a PS3 or PS4. Sorry, you can hook up a camera and you can talk to the camera and say like,
the camera. Who buys that?
Yeah, exactly. But still, you know, the kind of purpose I'm looking for, both consoles can do it, and I guess since I already have a PS3, might as well just get a PS4. But then you never know. I might just completely change my opinion. Adam, you've a PS4, don't you?
Yeah, I have a PS4.
How you
don't use
finding
it?
No, you
PS3.
don't use it.
I don't use it. PS3 is where it's at.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox One and a 360.
And
how have you found it?
Yeah.
The Xbox One?
Yeah.
I like it. I've always been a Microsoft guy. But I have to be honest, the reason why I always buy a Microsoft console is because of Halo.
Yeah, you're not alone in that school of thought.
Are you excited for the collection coming up?
Oh my god. Yes. Just the fact that I can go through all the Halos on Xbox One and Halo 2 Anniversary with new graphics and terminals and multiplayer. Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, as in, it's such... It needs to be done more. And also, isn't the option to play the maps with the old graphics and then... or the new graphics?
I think there might be. Is there?
From my recollection, there is. That's really cool. The whole Halo thing is absolutely brilliant.
It's going to be hilarious because you're going to have the Xbox Live chart. It's going to come out. It's going to be like all the new games are below Halo 2 multiplayer.
Right, at least
This
so,
came
I
out in
guess,
2004.
Yeah.
I could never get into Halo. I've played Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You
By
played
played, I mean I've put in, as in my friends would have them, and I put in a couple of hours. I was like, can I borrow that?
Okay.
I want to give this a proper shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's better. Maybe this one I like. Maybe this one because I desperately want to like Halo, but there's something about the I don't know. It feels floaty, but the course is meant to do that because you're meant to be able to run around at speed. There's something about it I just don't like.
You ever play ODST?
Nope. I played. I think that's the only one I didn't play. But I'd give
There's
it
also
about.
Halo Wars.
Nah. But yeah, as in, I'd love to be able to say, I'm an avid Halo fan because it's such a cool universe that they have. I think I might they have books, don't they? I think probably
They
that
have
might
a
be
ton
more
of
interesting.
books.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Nate, what about you? Are you a Halo fan or but maybe not.
I've never played a Halo game ever.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, I think I said before. I might have said on the last podcast I was on, but I was thinking like now was the perfect time for me to get into Halo because the whole collection's coming out on the Xbox One, and it has everything you'd want, and I get to kind of witness it if I so choose to do it, you know. But I don't know. Like I guess I like sci-fi, but I don't know if I'll be too pushed for it. Like I like the idea of it. Like it looks cool. That's exactly what the first thing I think about Halo. It's like, oh, it looks pretty cool. But I don't know, is it good to play? Because I remember the trailers for, I think it was
really
ODST. One of the trailers was like for ODST. It was really grand trailer that came on like all the time. It was
Oh,
like
the
this
live
guy-
action one.
Yeah, that was great. It was a guy at a bomb and he got shot or something like that, and then some other soldier picked it up and flew onto the spaceship. It was so good. I think it was Halo Reach. I'm pretty sure it was.
That also have a live action commercial.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I see. It's kind of like I need to figure out how much I want to pay, you know, at the and then which is the one, which is the one my friends are going to get, you know.
4 games and the Halo
Yeah,
5 beta.
no, it's not that. I mean the console itself, and it's kind of like, what are my friends going to play? Because that's it. At the end of the day, it's kind of like, what's your friends going to get, and then just play the games with them. That's what I think, anyways.
Going back to the beginning of this podcast, another reason why I think I don't like Call of Duty is because I'm a humongous Halo fan. And I don't know what happened, but it was probably like Modern Warfare 2 when it started. But this like war just started between the fans.
Yeah.
Like on forums and stuff. Like it just became a huge bitter grudge that happened. Like Call of Duty fans would be like, oh, you guys are just a bunch of Halo faggots. And they're just like, whoa, we didn't want to start a fight with you guys. But
Yeah.
now you have one.
Yeah. It's really funny. You can tell when someone plays Halo a lot in Call of Duty. Because I was recently playing Black Ops 2 online. And like I tend to do that drop shot thing where it's just an instant reaction where I kind of just duck down and start shooting. So I'd be running and then duck down and shoot. But I came into a corridor with this guy, and then I knew he played Halo because he started jumping up and down shooting me. And I was like, that is definitely a Halo move. I know for a fact that when people play Halo, they just hammer on the A button and leap up and down like rabbits with guns. It's crazy.
And you can tell if someone's a Halo player because they'll be playing Call of Duty and start teabagging someone.
Oh, that's so true as well, yeah. That actually still happens. You'd be so surprised. And you're like, wait, did I just go back in time or something? You know?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah. Alright, some good news. Well, not some good news. The Last of Us Remastered has gone gold, and we'll be getting a day one patch to include a screenshot tool. Still, no gameplay. They released a teaser TV spot, fantastic, showing cutscenes. Still no Naughty Dog, show gameplay. Please, your game comes out in about 10 days.
Oh,
Gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know
Do
why.
they really
you cannot show-
need to show gameplay? I mean,
Yes.
We need to see how the game looks in action. Or not even a cutscene, just how the game plays, how much smoother it is. Because you can only go so far with screenshots. You need to see the motion, you know? That's the way I see it anyways.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they feel like they don't need to because they're like, well, we've seen the game already.
I guess.
But the big selling point is, it's up-res and it's 1080p and it's going to look fantastic. You're going,
I mean,
can we judge
it's like-
for that?
Do you think they would do that for the Halo collection? I mean, like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, definitely.
here it is. You know what it is. It's Halo.
I can imagine they do like a short gameplay.
Because I remember they didn't show any commercials on TV for Halo Anniversary.
I guess, yeah, but they
But they don't have to show commercials on TV. They go online with that. There
I
was
guess that's
gameplay
true.
footage.
that's true.
As in, I just come on.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing that annoys me is the fact that news sites were reporting, so and so saw The Last of Us Remastered running, and here's a quote: "It looks great." End quote. Like that's nothing. I can't use that.
Well,
hey, the game
yeah.
looks good. The game always looked good.
I want to know how good it looks, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to buy it unless I see some gameplay. I'll just wait until it comes out and someone puts it up on YouTube. Here's me doing Let's Play. Finally.
But even then, on YouTube, it'll be really compressed.
You can get you get a fair idea.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially with now YouTube's 60 frames a second thing.
When I watched that Battlefield trailer in 60 frames, it was really kind of stuttery. I wasn't sure if it was me, but I watched the thing like 3 or 4 times, and every time it just kept stuttering. Like about 3/4 of the way through, like the game would just slow down to a crawl. But the rest
they
of it,
haven't gotten the player up to specs yet.
yeah, I probably haven't figured out all the bugs. But yeah, it's really cool to see YouTube videos so fluid, I guess. Really pretty.
And the fun thing is that the only reason for them to... the only medium that uses 60 frames a second is gaming. Television is 29.97, films are 29.97, sometimes 24. Yeah. Sometimes they go up to 48, like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit went up to 48. But as in, that's the way they do it. The only people that use 6 frames a second are gaming, because gaming is so massive on YouTube. They're like, well, let's cater to this audience and just make it available. Nobody was asking for it.
Yeah, I can't imagine watching a vlog or something like that in 60 frames per
60
second.
Oh god,
holy shit! Could you imagine?
That'd be so weird.
It'd be so trippy. Like you just ask them to put their hand towards the camera, and it'd feel like it's coming out of the screen.
60 frames a second, Nick or Nathan, not 3D.
No, I know that, but I mean, like the way it moves is so fluid that it looks like it does. It looks more like a window than an actual. Like I know it's not 3D. Like give me a bit of slack, but when I watch something like gameplay movement in 60 frames per second, I'm looking at it and I go, wow, it actually looks like it's so crystal clear that makes me think like I'm so impressed by it basically.
So do you think that this whole 6 frames per second argument is ridiculous, or
it's kind of stupid, but I can understand why people are mad about it, because if they're buying a console, they want the best. Like they want, they don't want like a low frame rate. They want like top quality. They want the best they can get. So if they're not being given that because the games are, not optimized properly, then yeah, I can understand why people get mad. But it's still,
now the Kinect's out of the way, I guess they can.
Yeah, maybe hopefully bring it up a bit.
I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Nobody ever complained when PS3 and Xbox 360 games made the transition from 1080p to 720p and then went from 60 to 30. The reason that happens is because there's only so much processing power in these consoles, and in a couple of years' time, all Xbox One games and PS4 games will be 720. Well, it might not be 720p, but they're not going to be. Some of them might be 720p at 30 frames a second, and I guarantee you, nobody will know the difference.
Nope.
There will be a gradual transition. This thing of, listen, if I put a game in front of you and you play for any longer than 3 or 4 minutes, I'll ask you, what's the frame rate? You won't be. You'd guess. You'd guess. What's the resolution? Again, you'd guess. Yeah. Unless it's a massive 50...
I can't really guess, but I can tell when something's 30 frames and not 60 frames.
If your screen is 50 inches, you might be able to tell it's only 720p upraised, or you might not. As in, once it's in motion, and once you're engrossed in that world, these fidelities of resolution and frame rate does not matter, so long as they don't get in the way of interrupting your experience.
I guess the problem is that the jump from PS2 to PS3 was huge. It was something else, It was completely just separate worlds. And I'm thinking that the jump from PS3 to PS4 wasn't as impressive, I mean, yeah, it's a lot more cleaner and smoother. It's like with The Last of Us, the PS4 version is more crisp than the PS3. But, to me it doesn't matter, because I said like a million times before, I'm all about good gameplay. If the game is fun to play, that's all you need, And I think that people who complain that the game looks bad aren't really focusing on the issue. Like, it has to play well first, and if it plays well, then you start focusing on that stuff. So I guess when people see a game come out, and then the second thing that comes up is this game is 60 frames per second, 1080p, that bothers me a bit. I want to know, is it fun to play first, and then what's it look like?
I think one of the reasons why we weren't blown away is because for about 2 years before the Xbox One, the PS4 came out, we were looking at games running on PC that were like they were next gen, but they were 2 years before the next gen consoles came out, and then they come out like, well, we've seen this.
Yeah.
This game looks amazing on PC. We've seen this.
I think that's it. At the end of the day, it's kind of like PS4 is just like a PC basically. That's the kind of graphics you can expect. Maybe not complete like Watch Dogs on PC now. It's just like it's in a different league to PS4, but that's because of mods and stuff like that. But I mean, we're kind of at the stage now with a PS4 we were with a PC about 2 years ago. That's the way I see it, anyways. I don't know if that's correct, or I'm sure someone could point out why that's completely wrong. But I don't see. I'm not blown away by the PS4. I haven't seen a game that's like, oh my god, the graphics in this are so amazing. Like, I just want a good game to play that's fun to play. Not
I think
so
another
much.
big thing is 360 and PS3 are holding back the new consoles. Let's just be honest here. When you get these new game announcements, and they're like, these games are coming out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and 360 and PS3, I get really angry. Because then that means they have to optimize it for the older consoles so it can be not that much different from the newer consoles.
I guess.
Well, that's been the case all the time. If they're developing a game for 2 years and then they're like, oh, the console's coming out there, okay, just do a port.
Yeah.
You'll see a complete change when games are exclusively developed for the Xbox One and PS4.
Like
then you
Evolve.
actually see some effort in. Yeah, as in, like, you won't see groundbreaking games for another 2 or 3 years. Well, maybe another year to 2. Because then they will have like a full development cycle with the new consoles.
Which made me really surprised, because when Assassin's Creed Unity was announced, they were like PS4 and Xbox One. And I was like, wow, they aren't doing a current gen version of that. I mean, they're making Assassin's Creed Comet, whatever that's going to be, but now I don't have to worry about Unity being held back.
Yep. I'm going to keep moving along there. We got about 4 other pieces of news. We're flying through. I don't know if you are fighting fans, but Tekken 7 had a reveal trailer, which looked nice. Again, it's a reveal trailer, not much information. A little nice thing is the fact that it's being developed using Unreal Engine 4, so it's going to look drop dead gorgeous. Are either of you Tekken fans?
I am not a Tekken fan.
No.
I'm a humongous Mortal Kombat fan, but I am not a Tekken.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, thank you for the segue. Raiden has been revealed for Mortal Kombat
Is that
10.
really a surprise?
Not really, but it's nice to know that he's going to be there. I only played my first Mortal Kombat game like a month ago, and that was Mortal Kombat 9, and it was
Your
so
first?
fun. Yeah, first ever.
What?
I don't know. I never got into fighting games, and I played it, and it was so fun. I just spent hours in the arcade or training rooms just trying to figure out how to do all the cool moves. And yeah, it's just a blast to play. So I'm actually really excited to play Mortal Kombat X. I think it's called. Yeah, it's called X, right? Yeah, the new characters on it look really cool. I can't remember their names, but I know one of them is just a humongous guy with a little girl on his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm interested. It's been a while since Mortal Kombat had some original characters.
But yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Last week we told all of our glorious listeners about Crytek having massive troubles and people not showing up to work. And our very own Tripp reported on the fact that the director of Homefront: The Revolution, because that was what Crytek are developing, has resigned. He's done, which is a bit of a pity.
It's
yeah, as in Tripp, you report on this. Can you speak more about it?
it's such a shame, because it almost feels like a lot of people are on the internet are calling it the Homefront curse, because if you remember when Homefront 1 was being made, there was a lot of problems too in Chaos and Free Radical. And it sucks now to hear that Crytek is just having all these issues. Like, from what I'm hearing, it's the company's trying to do different things, and the main force, the workers, are not happy with these decisions. Like, they want to focus on free to play, they want to focus on this MOBA, and then the guys who are working on Homefront are like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do a free to play model. There's no money in it, and it's just all falling apart. And Rise wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be, and it's just, I guess the Homefront director was like, if it's going to be like this, I'm leaving. and people
Are you
aren't
working?
getting paid, and it's crazy. Because I don't know if I heard that Deep Silver might be paying them to finish the game. I don't think that's confirmed, or that Deep Silver might buy Crytek. But
Are you worried about Homefront? Do you think it will?
I
it won't
am,
be as good?
because the first demo I saw, I was like, wow, this could be a really good game compared to the first one. I actually played the first one. I didn't buy it, thankfully. But it was not that amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I watched the demo for Revolution. I thought this is a significant upgrade, and it had some appeal. I hope it does it. I hope it doesn't. Like it's not going to. It'd be a pity for it to get canned because they're so far along in development. So I know at the very least the game will come out. It might not live up to its potential, but it will come out.
You know, Crytek bought the Homefront franchise from THQ for $500,000.
Yep. What a steal! I should have done that myself. Bankrolled it. Oh yeah, and then
you know what I'm really curious about is, will Crytek? I think I said this earlier to you guys, but will Crytek be at Gamescom or even PAX? I mean,
probably not. I doubt it.
That's crazy, because weren't they? They were E3, weren't they?
Yes, that's the.
So you think they just won't show up because of all these problems going around?
Probably don't have the money to send people.
Just show up and be like, "Oh, we don't know what you guys are talking about."
Yeah, I'm not even joking. As in, they can't pay some of their employees, and that's the reason for them not showing up. I doubt they can put into their expenses. Let's send a bunch of people around the world. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, if they did show up, that'd be insane. Like, maybe they're...
maybe things aren't so bad after all. We're going to end on a happy note. Games selling a shitload. That's always a good thing. Watch Dogs has sold over 8 million units, which is fantastic.
Good God. After all that, what's the word? Fiasco, I guess, with the whole downgrade stuff. Yeah, it's still sold a lot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's the best-selling new IP in over a decade or something. Maybe since Tetris. I don't know.
Tetris?
Yeah, maybe since Tetris. It's good to know. 8 million, I'm kind of surprised. I would have given them 3 to 4.
I'm not at all, because let's think about this. What else came out when Watch Dogs came out?
I don't know, actually.
So you think that it's right time, right place, good marketing, solid game.
It was the one big IP that came out. It might have been up to expectations for some people, but Watch Dogs was that big game. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Destiny. I mean, Destiny's so overhyped now, and the beta's coming out next week for Xbox One. It's already out for PS4 today? Or tomorrow? No, it's today. And nothing else is coming out in September, except for Sunset Overdrive at the end tail of the month. But I think so many people are going to buy Destiny. It's going to be insane.
I have a funny story here, just right now that's happening. So you guys know that the guy that always puts up the info on Twitter, Shinobi.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. So he was doing like a little competition just to say like, the first person to answer this question gets a PS4 beta code for Destiny, right? So the question he asked was, how do you get a peanut to laugh? Now the answer is, you crack it up. but I said, tickle its nuts. And I was like, that has to be the right answer. There's no way it can't be. And then it just says, no, you crack it up. And I just going, oh God, now loads of people are favoriting it. And I'm like, that is definitely the most ridiculous answer I could have put down. Oh God. So yeah, are you guys psyched for Destiny? Have you played it at all?
I'm in the beta.
No.
You played it a bit, Trip?
I'm so jaded from
Not
Destiny.
PS4 one. I'm in the Xbox One beta. I played the alpha on PS4.
Uh-huh. How was it?
I liked it. I like what they're doing with it. I still can't say much because it was such a condensed area. I mean, it's an alpha, but I think there's so much potential for that game. So I'm ready to see in the beta like how much they're offering, how big the world's going to be, just all the opportunities you're going to have. I'm curious.
Oh, and Adam, you're saying you weren't mad about it?
No, I couldn't care.
No.
I have no interest in Destiny whatsoever.
Why's
It's
that?
not for me. Nothing about it appeals to me. The MMO first-person shooter style of doing things. You can play single player and you don't have to. None of it appeals to me. I've seen gameplay. It looks so ordinary.
Sure.
How does it feel?
Is it? Yeah. How does it feel as a game? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, like Halo, which might be why I like it.
Yeah,
There you go.
If you
Mystery
don't like Halo,
solved.
It
probably
is
not for you.
Bungie, so, and I like Bungie even before Halo, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Watch Dogs selling the boatload. I'm excited to see what they do with 2 and 3 because there's so much room for growth in that game.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be fascinating. I don't think they'll be able to top 8 million though. Although it could become, it's going to be their next Assassin's Creed. But they
Yeah,
did it again, like
think
in
about
the
it. When
beginning
first
of last
Assassin's
generation,
Creed came out.
they announced, it's like this is new and interesting.
Yeah.
It
But
has
it was
its
still
faults,
had,
but you can build upon
problems.
it.
Yeah. And then the second one came out, and they just blew it out of the water, fixed a lot of the problems, the repetition, and now Assassin's Creed's like this humongous franchise, and I think Ubisoft with Watch Dogs 2 could do the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's exciting. It's a good time to be a gamer.
Yes. October is going to be stacked with games.
I'm not even gonna get a single thing. There's too much.
I don't know what to. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, I do not know which one to pick. I need to sit back and wait for reviews and everything.
I think Nick might have wrote about it on the website, but it's funny because I think weeks earlier, before they announced the release date for Lords of the Fallen, I was like, they'd be insane to release it in October. Then they announced it in October, and Nick came out with an article that said, "We welcome the challenge." And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, tweeted at them. I was like, "Are you really gonna do it in October?" And they just said, "We welcome a challenge."
I can't believe it. Like, I guess it's a different game. It's an RPG. I mean, I'm sure people are going to buy it, but like,
But Shadow of Mordor and Dragon Age Inquisition. So those are 3 kind of similar style of games which appeal to a relatively similar audience, and they're all coming out within 2 weeks of each other. I don't get it. You could have delayed it another month, brought it out at the end of November. Nothing's going
or
on there.
even in December.
Yeah, I think the only game coming out for December is maybe Kingdom Hearts or something.
Yeah, the 2.5.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
could've-
Listen, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I know, from a marketing standpoint, it doesn't to me.
Yes, I don't know. There'll be the fascinating thing will be not actually buying games in October, but for me, it's the fascinating thing is going to be watching the sales. As in, how is just October going to sell 1 billion games? It might.
I
It
wonder if the
might.
sales for each game are not going to be as much as they wanted because there's so many other games going against each other. It's going to be split.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be class. And with that, we'll say an end to the podcast. It's been fun. Thank you to Nathan and Tripp for joining me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great fun.
It's fun.
As always.
Yeah. Actually, listeners, you didn't know this is Tripp's first ever podcast.
Yes, yes it is.
You wouldn't even know. He acted like a pro.
Oh, did I? Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, so onlysp.com is the site. You can go visit it. Tons of stuff up there focusing entirely on single player gaming. We don't care about multiplayer. It's not where the fun is. It's not where the great characters, the imaginative storylines. Go single player. You can follow us on Twitter at something.
Official only SP. So that's official _ only SP. That's capital O for official, capital O for only, and capital SP.
You can type them in lowercase, Nathan.
Can you? What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to type it out completely the way it
you can
is.
type lowercase. Yeah, the YouTube channel is only single player. In fact, just go to the site. All the links are there that you can follow. There's a Facebook page and the whole shebang. Facebook is like very close and it's 2,000 likes. Once it hits 2,000, Nick will be doing a special live stream of the Banner Saga. Something to look out for. Okay, and that's it for this week. Thank you all for listening. and I'll see you next time. Done. Well done, lads. That was good.